So welcome everybody. My name is Samson Lee. I'm your host today, and today we're going to have a fantastic leadership training. Now this training is definitely for people with some experience, and also people who are into JEUNESSE quite a bit already, building their business. So today we have a very, very special person doing the training for us, and there could be nobody better. Because for me, I have been in the industry for about 5 years. I've seen many trainers from all over the world in big conferences, and I will share with you this, really from, not only because she's my friend, but she is one of the really best trainers in the industry, bar none, okay? So without further ado, I'd like to bring up my good friend, mentor, and JEUNESSE #1 leader, is KimHui.
Thanks, Samson. All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You guys look good. Well, we didn't expect a big turnout on a Sunday afternoon for leadership, and so today, I've been pondering and thinking about how can we take this team to the next level. Because as we take this business, now so far in about a year's time, we have already taken this business. We have set footprints now to over 50 countries. Not too bad, right? In 1 year's time. And so I think it's about time for us leaders to step up, to really catapult your business to the next level, and not only that, to really set a story, a success story for yourself. And so I see a lot of new faces here, and I hope that you're already in the business, and I also see a lot of familiar faces. And so it's a pleasure for me to do the training here today. And today, it's not your basic training. Today it's about leadership, stepping up your role, to be taking your business to the next level that you want it to go to. And so it is of utmost importance that you look at this business and do this business with the right light, with the right mindset. Because 90% of our business is all based on your mindset and your attitude. Because if you're 1 degree off one day, compounded over time, we're completely off course. And so having said that, let me begin by asking this question. How many of you, and I want you really, I need your imagination. I really need you to work with me on this one. How many of you come into JEUNESSE to just make an extra living, an extra few thousand a month? Show of hands. Okay, 1 or 2 hands. So now, how many of you came here to make a fortune? Show of hands. Okay, very good. Now, so that's why you're here. That's why I wanted this training to be here. See, it's okay if you want to make a living. It is also okay if you want to make a fortune. But the distinction is what you do with the business. See, all of us can be excited, all of us can be motivated when our business is thriving. True or not true? If your team is working, you're thriving, it is very exciting. See, the key is not what you do when your business is up. The challenge comes in your business is what would you do when your business is not where it should be, or when your business is not where it wants to be. It's either it will make you or break you. So today the training may be a little bit strong, and I hope it's okay. I'm a little bit concerned because we have seen some new faces here, but I do hope that you have been involved in the business for a while, because this is really for the people that have been doing JEUNESSE for a while and that you have stepped up to be a leader. And so we really dedicated, we asked your local leaders to identify who the top people are, and we wanted you to be here. So having said that, now I need you to help me out, and I want you to picture and start imagining, what would you do? Now, again, this is a training. There's no guarantee of income in any form, shape, or way. But I want to impose this question and ask you, what would you do if you know that right now you're making $20,000 a month? I want you to have that frame of mind. What would you be doing? What would some of you, and I want you to start thinking about that. What would you do if you were making $20,000 a month? You think $20,000 a month is pretty decent income?
Yes.
In America, I think it's pretty decent. Would you not agree with me? So, what would you, I need some of the answers. Now, what would you do? Forget about the recording right now. I need live. I need feedback. Okay, so this is me. This training is for you. I took out my Sunday. You took out your Sunday. This is for you to get your business to the next level. So I need your participation. So I want some of the feedbacks. What would you do if you're making $20,000 a month?
Quit my job.
Okay, quit his job. Okay. Now, anybody have similar feelings?
Fire my boss.
Fire her boss. Okay. I don't think she had a boss. Okay. But anyway, what would some of you do? And any ideas? What would some of you do?
People.
Help more people. Okay. And what other things? I want to. Work hard, travel. Okay, very good. Now, I want you to start getting those feelings. We all need something to motivate us. We all need something to inspire us to go to the next level in life. If not, do a job. The job pays your daily paycheck, your weekly paycheck, your monthly paycheck. So to get somewhere in life, in your career, you need something that you can latch onto, that you believe that you can get it now. So we all established 20 grand is pretty decent income a month in America, right?
Right. Yes.
My question to you is, if you knew you could do that, if you knew failing is not an option, what are you willing to do to get to 20,000 a month?
Work hard.
Doing whatever it takes. See, over the years, last 18 years, I have worked with thousands, countless people. And every time I go to a meeting, when people get so excited, they go, that's it. I can see it, I can feel it. I'm going to be a big player, and I'm going to make 20,000 a month, or 30,000 a month, or 50,000 a month. But you know what? After a little while, you don't see them no more. Why? Because most people, when they throw a number out, something's got to balance. See, a lot of people want to make a lot of money, and yet not everyone are willing to do whatever it takes to get to your goal. So 20 grand a month, we know in America's decent income. Now most people in America make how much a month? Average. 5, 6, 7,000? 5,000? 3, 4,000. Or 3. Oh my gosh, lower and lower, okay. So let's just say that 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5,000 a month. What do most people have to do to make that 4 to 5,000 a month?
40 hours.
40 hours a week, a day, 40 hours a day, no, 8 hours a day for 5 days, right? That'd be 40 hours a week to make that, sometimes more. Not mention about the stress that comes along with it, not mention about the traffic that comes along with it. So they are willing to do that day in and day out to make the 5,000, 5,000 a month. Now here you are, you set yourself a goal. You want to make 20,000 a month. Are you willing to work harder on your own business than what you put in for your job? Sure. See, something's got to give. Some people say, I want to make 20. Kim, how do I do what you do? I want to make 20,000 a month. I said, great. Meet me every week, twice a week. Meet me at roast meat and meet me in Walnut. They go, that's too far for me. And I said, listen. You want to make the money, you want to change your life, something's got to give. So having said that, we really need to have the right mindset of, do you really, really want it? Do you really, really believe that you can do it? It is a huge blessing to be making the kind of money that I'm blessed to make. But you know what? Most people don't see the work behind the scenes. See, what it takes to be a leader, this is a leadership training. So I need you to really step it up. If you really, really want to make the kind of money to step it up. Most people see the money, the glory that we get to get. But most people, and at the same time, they don't see the pain, the tears that came behind the scene. You know, so many times, approximately once a month, I'm traveling on the plane. I spend a lot of time in the lounges at the airport. At 4 o'clock in the morning, in transit, going from country to country. One day, it's 4 o'clock in Hong Kong, in transit from one terminal to another. And I was standing right in front of the fast train. The fast train, there's a mirror. There's a reflection, not a mirror. There's a reflection on the train. You know what I saw? A reflection of myself. Having my carry-on. I said, you know what? It's 4 o'clock in the morning, when most mothers, most wives are at home with the children, with the kid, with the family. And here I was, hopping from country to country. See, there's a price to be paid. Success, you know what? We all heard it. The price for success must be paid in full and upfront. Now, do we get challenges? Absolutely, every single day. But it's what you do with it. It's all mental. It's all mindset. You know, I give you a perfect story, and I don't think I've shared with anyone. I was recently on a 14-day trip, 5 countries, 14-day trip. And one of my trips was right before I went to Taiwan for the grand opening. I was in China. I was in Shenzhen. And I was all day long trip, meeting after meeting, meeting after meeting. Tina doesn't even know this. It was with her team. She doesn't even know what went on. And when I came back, I was too busy to deal with what we got faced. See, I want to share with you how you deal with this type of business, okay? So when I was in China and I was so tired, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were at a spa. I had a whole entourage of people at the spa. It's a 7-story spa, okay? So we were there getting ready to get a massage. And I was so tired, and there's a team of people from Hong Kong, a team of people from Taiwan, a team of people from China. They were there. And so the team of people from Hong Kong said, Kim, you know what? We just had the event in Hong Kong. We'd like to sit down with you. We'd like to strategize. We'd like to discuss what went on and how we can improve it, how we can do better. And I told them, I said, you know what? I would love to, but simply, my brain's just fried. I mean, it's just been a long, long day hopping, from Hong Kong to Shenzhen. I said, listen, can we do another day? So it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, is it okay if I just get a massage and I just chill out a little bit? And they go, sure. And my eyes like a panda. I was like ready to drop out. And so while I was walking by, going to my room for treatment, I passed by a group of people. They're from China. I said, oh, Kim, sit down. It was like a big cafeteria, like this 7-story spa. First story you checked in, second story you take a shower, third story you get your foot massage, fifth story you get your body massage and Thai massage, Chinese massage, whatever massages, okay? So I was ready to go to my treatment, and a group of people said, Kim, would you sit down? And I was so dead tired. I said, they go, please, you're leaving soon, would you sit down? So I sat down. So in the midst of me falling asleep, dozing off, something happened during the meeting amongst the people in the meeting. Guess what happened? They started pounding on the table. I go, this is a spa. And they start pounding the table, and fighting started going on. And here I was, wide awake when they were all fighting, pounding on the table. I said, what is this? I came from America. I'm not used to this, okay? And I was wide awake. I ended up spending time with them from pounding, fighting, until everybody hugging and laughing. It took until 4 o'clock in the morning. Then the people from Hong Kong, they come look for me. They're just browsing around looking for something to eat, not looking for me. They saw me. They said, we thought you didn't want to spend time with us because you were so tired. I said, listen, you don't want to know what happened, okay? I was wide awake. The reason why I want to share the story with you is this. See, most people, even those, you guys override a team, some of you override a team in your team, you don't even know what happened. See, in order for you to realize what goes on in the business, you really got to travel with me. Not only travel with me, to be in the trenches, in the field. Then you really got a feel of what really goes on. It's fun, don't get me wrong. I just want to prepare you. So the reason why I want to share this with you is this. We as leaders, when we step into a situation, we got to deal with things. And what happens when we're done with it, when I came back, I never even told the story. This is one of hundreds of stories that I travel. But when I came back, guess what I deal with? Whatever the people, we have to be present with the people that we're working with. See, we as leaders, we must rise above the occasion. How whether you succeed or not with this business, it depends on how you deal with the business. Most people in this business, you know what to do? They major in minors. They may put all their attention on the minor stuff. Minor stuff, challenges, do we have it? You think Coca-Cola, IBM, Apple, do you think they have issues? Yes. Every day. But it's how we deal with it. So what are we supposed to do? We are leaders. What are we supposed to do? We must get good at mastering the basics, okay? So besides having the right attitude, now this is maybe quite strong to some of you, but this is very important. You as a leader, first, you gotta have that belief. Do you really believe you could do it? If you believe you could do it, look, listen, we have dug gold from it. You have no idea last week when I heard Tina, when I heard Winnie, Samson, when they're making the money, you have no idea how good I felt. It's that joy. I mean, people say, Kim, you're making so much money. Why are you working so hard? Because I want to see the people that join me, that work hard with me, when they make the kind of money I do, I say, you know what, then I can retire. Because most people, and I could tell you one thing, with this team, I don't care what company you go into, in the industry of direct selling, you can go to any company. I challenge you. You can go to any company. You will never, ever find the leaders that we have in this team that care so much, that dedicate so much of their time and their love. I would challenge any one of you. You go to any MLM company, you won't find the leadership that we have on this team, because it is a family for us. It is a passion. So we as leaders, we got to step it up. You want to make 20 grand a month. Okay, that's all great. That's fine. It's a noble goal. But you know what? Be willing to do what it takes to get to 20 grand a month. Are you guys with me so far? So what is mastering the basics, okay? We have to learn to master, people say they want to get fancy. No, there's no need to get fancy. You got to get good at the simple stuff. So what is the simple stuff that we got to be good at? One, you got to be very good at piquing interest. Now, what is piquing interest? Piquing interest is simply asking people that if they have an option, are they open to are they open to possibility to possibly change your lives, to probably have financial freedom? You just pique their interest. Now, later on, we're going to have a series of different basic trainings, so teaching about how you pique interest using what we call form, okay? Piquing interest is nothing more than you try to identify your prospect's needs. And what you do is you provide a solution. How are you going to find out what their needs are? Let's say Luz. If you know Luz, you got to get to know her. Yeah, these are your prospects. You know their background. Let's say Luz is a realtor. Let's say Luz is a great realtor. Realtor might make good money at a certain time period. But guess what most realtors have to do? They go from deal to deal. You make a sale, you make some commission. Guess what? In order for her to make money again, she had to go on, knock on doors again, move on a deal. Car salesman, same thing, right? You make a sale, you sell a car, next month, your quota, you start from zero all over again. So you have to identify what their needs are, what their wants are, through what we call form. Okay, that's a whole different training, okay? So form meaning F stands for family. How's your family? You need to find out what their needs are, what their wants are. So talk about their family. How are your family? How are the kids? So through your asking the questions, you are able to identify what their wants and what the needs and what the desires are, okay? Now, F stands for family. O stands for occupation. How's your job? R stands for recreation. Your vacation, have you done anything fun lately? What have you traveled to recently? The reason you want to say all this, ask all this stuff, is that through that form, you're able to find out what is it that they may be lacking, maybe they're looking to improve on. M stands for money. How's your financial situation? And I tell you, there's not a better time to recruit people than now. The economy, so many people are being downsized. So many people are being laid off. And this is a great, great timing for you to build your business and really offer a solution to other people, okay? So pique interest, simply ask them, are you open? Might you be open to possibility? That is it. It's not asking, will you join me in JEUNESSE? No, you're not asking to join you anything. You're piquing their interest to see if they're piquing, meaning to see if there's an interest for them to even go a step further. Okay? So pique interest and learn to use it through form. Okay? Second thing you got to get good at is inviting them to our events. Once you pique the interest and they are open, instead of you sit there and blah, 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 all about Luminous and all about Reserve, your job is to invite them to one of our local events. We're lucky. We have events going on right here. For people, now, what is an event? This is very important. What is an event? An event could be a local meeting. Okay? An event also could be what? A one-on-one session with your upline. A one-on-one. Okay? Or a small PBR at your house. If you have a home presentation, PBR stands for Private Business Reception. Okay? Or it could be a webinar. For people that are far away from us, it could be a webinar. Okay? Now, also it could be a conference call. And pretty soon, we are going to have a DVD, an opportunity DVD. Okay? OPP, Opportunity Presentation DVD. That if they're interested, all you do is you pop them a DVD, say, watch this, and zip the lip. Because too often, too many times, people start, they ask you, oh, what is it? Then you start, blah, 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 until they are so bored, they go, okay, forget it. Because it's too hard of a sell for me, okay? So you need to invite them to and plug them into the event. Now, why is it so important to plug your people into the event? How many of you would like to retire? Just work the business 2 to 3 years and really retire. How many of you want that? See, if you want to retire, we got to leverage on the system. And the key thing to our business is what? The one thing, if we forget anything today at all, is called duplication. How do you duplicate yourself? Because see, some of you in this room, you are super kings and queens on one-on-ones. Anybody you sit down with, you close them. To me, signing them is simple. Getting them to sign up and go to work, it's a whole different issue. See, you want to sign them up and you want to give them a vehicle to go and duplicate you so that they don't always rely on you. See, a lot of people in this business, when you make yourself the issue, we can't succeed. Because you know why? We can never retire. Because it's always about you. If you stop doing one-on-one, guess what happened to your business? It dies, it stops. So you need to, how you duplicate is you need to, if you forget anything at all, you gotta get good at plugging your people to the events. You must be able to learn. You have to learn to promote the events. So how you promote, invite people to events, and you as a leader, you need to learn to promote events. You have to learn to sell events because, see, through the events, you know what they will learn? They will begin to gain confidence. They will begin to have belief. Every single one of you guys groups, I know what happened. See, the team that always plug into the meetings, I know they're growing. The teams that don't plug in the meeting, even though they got big sales, you know what, a month or two later, when any small challenge happens, guess what happened? Completely collapse, dies. So you have to get good at promoting event. Don't let language or culture be a barrier. Some people say, you know what, no, Chinese, they don't understand anything. I say, I don't care if they understand anything, but they understand body language. They understand people. They go, wow, so many people. There must be something good going on. You guys with me so far? You gotta get good. See, when people come in the meeting, after the meeting, guess what happens? They don't even need to understand. They go, wow, all these people. You pull them in the corner, you say, you see all these people? Then you can show them briefly what it's all about. But, you know, I also know that some of the people's mentality goes like this. They themselves have their own blockage. They say, you know what, I can't get my people to the meeting. Or my type of people don't like to go to meetings. We got to get good at overcoming that. Because I knew, you know, all this last 18 years, everything I shared with you, I went through myself. I always tell my sponsor before, he says, Kim, you are a queen of one-on-one. You go out there, you sign up people, you go out and sign up people, you're really good. But you know what, I discovered something, I can never stop. Because if I stop, I don't make any money. And I told my sponsor, I said, you know why I can't promote meeting? Because my type of people, they're professionals, they don't like MLM. They don't like MLM meeting. They don't like environment. They just don't like that kind of environment. Kim, until the day you yourself get over that blockage, otherwise you can't promote events. You won't succeed. Because it was all in my mindset. But you know what? Once I overcame that mindset in the meeting, you know, now, I mean, you guys know I've come from Hong Kong, so I could say that I'm from Hong Kong. And before I say, Hong Kong people are very fast. They just want all the facts, and they don't want to sit through the meeting. And that was always I tell people. But you know what? Boy, was I wrong. Until I changed my mindset, when it was a meeting, I packed the most people from Hong Kong, from San Francisco, packed the whole Hong Kong people. Why? Because when I had the belief to promote the event, people will come. You got to promote it like a movie, okay? You have to learn how do you promote events. To promote the event, you have to edify the information. Either edify the speaker or edify the information. You edify the heck out of it, I'm telling you. Don't edify it like an MLM thing, but edify it like an opportunity that can literally change their life. If you talk with that belief, when you promote events, you got to learn to edify, and you have to have that belief. You say, listen, if I can show you something, I can invite you to a meeting, an event. If that 2 hours of your time, if it could change your life, it could possibly help turn your financial situation around, would you invest 2 hours of your time?
Yes.
Of course, right? Now, if they say no, that means do not continue. Don't fight with them. Move on. If you know, but see, there is a fine line. If you talk like not sure, you're not quite sure about the meeting, and when you promote like that, people can feel you. But if you say, listen, all I ask for is 2 hours of your time. Because if you didn't like it, just pretend you watch a bad movie. But if you like it, it might be something. You said it might be something that could turn your life around. All I ask for 2 hours. And after the 2 hours, I won't bug you no more. Why is it important for them to come in? When they come to a meeting, guess what? They hear testimonials. They see other people's. Guess what? When they do that, the business is no longer about you. Because it's always you talking to people. It's okay, it's good to have a lot of one-on-ones. It's great to have small meetings, home meetings. But after the home meeting, after the one-on-ones, what's your goal? Your number one goal is to promote the event. The next event. We build from event to event. It's called impending events. Okay? So, because people are always looking for what's next. So you sign up now. Your job is next time I want you to come to a meeting, you meet some of my business partners. So you get to learn from people what this business is all about, because I'm telling you, there is something magical when it comes to events. I literally built my entire business through events. Now, speaking of events, we have a major event coming up. If you really want to test this program to see if it works for you, in my 18 years, it's proven to work each and every time. This is proven. The system is proven. Don't try to do it your own way until you succeed. If you want to try to test it, this coming event, the company has a super event at St. Gabriel Hilton. Whoever can bring the most people from your team, either your prospect or your team's prospect, whoever bring the most people will be the most successful. Because there's something magical when you get the people into the situation, into the meeting environment. Are you guys with me so far? Yes. So you got to master basics, and you have to learn to promote the event. And you got to really believe. Remember I told you, when you want something bad enough and you believe you'll get it, you will do all out massive action to make changes in your life. Because so did I. Okay? And I'm going to share with you a story later about that. Okay? So how do you edify the information? Now, there's one thing. Another, the basics, peak interest, learn how to invite people to the event, and teach your people to plug into the system. Okay? And you yourself got to be willing to put in some time to the meetings that we got to get good at is learn how to edify. Okay? What is edification? Edify meaning speaking good of somebody. Okay? Now, so in that, I will explain this to you. We have what we call the A, B, C. What is A? A is the experts. Who is the expert? Anybody but you. Always remember that. Most people let themselves be the expert. I don't care what your past history, I don't care whatever you did big in the past, we're dealing with the now. We got to be willing to drop the ego, drop the past to succeed in this business, okay? Now, the A is the expert. Who is the expert again? Anybody but you. That's right. Anybody but us, okay? Now, B is you. Okay? You are the person in the business. Who is C? C is the prospect. Now, between you and your prospect, hopefully you guys have trust. Hopefully your prospect trusts you, okay? When you say go this way, hopefully your prospect won't go the other way, okay? So hopefully they trust you. Now, what is your job to do? Your job is to edify the experts. Why you need to edify the experts? The reason why you want to edify the expert is so that prospect will respect. So the prospect will have respect to A. Because if you say nothing about the expert just shows up, they go, who are you? Why should I even listen to you? Are you guys with me so far? So if you could learn to edify, just the edification process, you can literally build your entire business. Because edification ties into promoting events. So when you not only do you edify a person, you can edify the event. An event is something that you must. You know what? Events are lifeline of your business. It's the oxygen, the environment that we need to breathe. See, is it true that in the outside environment there's a lot of negativities out there? True or not true? There's a lot. Doesn't matter what business we do. So, and we got to give people an environment so people feel nurtured so they can grow and work in the environment. And how we do that is by plugging them into the event so that it's not based on you. Okay? Now, so your job is to edify the expert. Now, what do you say about the expert? Who is the expert? Anybody but you. And I tell you, to my family, each and every single one of you are experts. I cannot tell my family to use Luminous, but Tina can ask my dad to use Luminous. I cannot tell my father to take reserve, but you know what? Samson can tell my dad to take reserve. How? It's just the human beings, human nature. Why? I don't know. How many of you heard that the saying that the grass is greener on the other side? It's the out of town prophet mentality. Yeah. Because, you know, the prophet in his own town is not of much usage until they travel abroad, okay, or somewhere else. That's just the nature. So your job is to edify. Like, perfect example. We had breakfast with my parents, with Tina. And I was telling my mom and dad, because I told my mom and dad a long time, I told my mom, Mom, you had a big eye bag, put luminous in your eyes, it's going to help you. Wouldn't even touch it, okay? So Tina was right there. I said, Mom, Tina had a lot of success in luminous. And her people, her team is very successful using luminous. You know, and Tina just showed my mom the hand, and guess what happened? My mom started using luminous on her face. But it took me like months. I couldn't get my own mother to use luminous. But it took someone else. Why? I tee up Tina. I have to edify. What is edify? Edify meaning you tee up somebody. It doesn't have to be somebody make a lot of money. No. It could be, you just tee up some good characteristics of that person. It could be that person have a golden heart, a heart of gold. Or it could be that person's very successful in their own rights, in their own business. If some of you might have noticed, when I introduce people to other people, I always find the best of that person. And I would tell that story to whoever I'm introducing. What am I doing? I'm teeing up that person. Because in business, when you have trust plus respect, you know what you get? You got a sale. You got to have trust and respect. Most of you came into JEUNESSE because someone told you about it. If I were to go, look, if I were to go to car wash, if I were to go to gas station, and you don't know me from Adam, I just came up to you and said, listen, you got to try this adult stem cell thing. You got to try resveratrol. You probably think I'm nuts. You probably run away from me. But if somebody had teed me up or tee you up to be the expert, now, you don't have to be the expert on products. No, you could be the expert on anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you tee up some good characteristic so that when this person talks, guess what happens? The prospect will listen because there's respect. Are you guys with me so far? Yes. So we need to get very good at edification. I have people that literally built a nationwide organization by learning to edify the person they're working with. See, in this business, you are in business for yourself, right? But not by yourself. Because you have your upline or the upline leader, the upline expert to work with you to help you build your business. So you have to understand the relationships amongst the people, because this is a people business. So the third thing you have to learn is really edify. Now, edify, don't go ed a lie, okay? Edify means tell the truth about whoever that person you're working with. They might be a nurse, they might be a business owner, because you know why? Most people have the ideology of business owner makes a whole lot of money, okay? Sometimes it's true. But what most people don't realize that a lot of times, especially the economy like this, business owners are suffering. Because before they make a dime, they have all this overhead. They have to fix overhead to pay before they even pocket the money. A lot of business owners nowadays, their staff, their employee are making more money than they themselves. The next thing we have to do is you yourself, leaders, have to be good at meeting conduct. Meeting conducts, what are they? We all know that in a meeting environment, that's where we do business, right? So having said that, it's very important for us as leaders to arrive on time, not late, to arrive on time if not early, okay? Meeting conduct is to arrive on time and to help out. I mean, look, this meeting is for you guys. I mean, I tell you, from day one, when my sponsor told me, whoever holds a marker, whoever helps set up the room, are the one that make the most money. I was the first one to volunteer. I said, show me. Just teach me how. So this meeting, whenever I go to a meeting, the first thing I do, you guys are leaders. I mean, that's why when I say leadership meeting, please don't bring any new people. Because when you have new people, I can't cover some of the stuff, okay? When a meeting like this, any meeting, any event, what's the first thing you need to look for? To make sure the event is all set up. If not, you need to take charge and get it to set up. Because why? The meeting, the event is for whom? Not for you. For whom? For your prospect. Okay? So you got to come early and take pride, take charge. Don't just, oh, it's not my team, I'm sitting here and slouching. No, because maybe right now it's not your team. Eventually it may be your team. It will be your team. Okay? Now, the other thing is it's very important. You are leaders, please participate. Okay? Because participation is key. What do I mean by participation? When the speaker asks you, how many of you would like to make some money? Show of hands. Yay. That's really exciting, you know, okay? So let's try one more time. And how many people would like to make some money? Show of hands. See, I tell you, I don't need you to fake and hoo-hoo-hoo. No need for that. But when you participate genuinely, guess what? That excitement, that enthusiasm is contagious of people around you. I was taught a long time ago that a lot of this make you a lot of money, okay? I said, just show me how to do it. I will clap the loudest you want me to clap. And I actually had invented a way to clap really loud, okay? It's like go like this. But anyway, I won't go there today. So you got to do a lot of this, a lot of this. We got to participate because the meet is not for you. It's for whom? For the people sitting next to you, for your prospect. This is very important. Now, this is leadership. I need you to crack a smile because it's not easy to be up here, guys. When you're up here, you realize one of these days when you do a meeting and Rick is nodding, he's like, yeah, it's really nerve-wracking sometimes. And you know what? The speaker is only as good as the audience. So we need you. When you're sitting down, kind of crack a smile because we need that smile. We need that energy to feed to the audience. So, and because if you're like no expression face, please, we need that from you, each and every single one of you. Because if, let's say that you have a prospect sitting next to you. If the speaker says, how many of you would like to make some extra money? And your prospect don't raise their hand, you're not going to say, you do, come on, you know? See, because by you doing that, it becomes fun. It becomes a whole gelling environment. So I couldn't emphasize enough, I need that from you. And then also, very important, the meeting conduct, when you come, please sit down with your prospect in the front. Unless we're totally packed, usually we're packed now. So if we're packed, then you can give the seat to the prospect. But do sit next to your prospect. I see a lot of people over the years, you know what they do? They sit their prospect in the front. They go, you sit here, okay? I'm going to hang back there with the big players. No, you sit there with them. You know why? When you sit there with your prospect, you know what your prospect likes and what he or she doesn't like. When your prospect doing a lot of this, you know what they're doing? They're buying. Okay? So you need to be with them so you can be participating. It becomes contagious with your prospect. So it's very important you sit with them. Now, if you are sitting in the front, it's very important that don't save seats. Because when you save seats, guess what happened? The meeting starts, your prospect don't show up, we have a couple of empty seats, and then you know what happened? During the meeting, the person you're sitting in the front, you keep looking back to see if your prospect had came. First, if your prospect actually walked up, it'll be interruptive to people around them. Second, if you're sitting in the front, you keep looking back, guess what the people behind you will do? They all look back. And it could be that very same word that the speaker would say. It could be that key phrase, that concept, that thought, that idea the speaker spoke about. Then when everybody turned, it could be that very same thing that helped you close the deal. So it's very important that you sit in the front with the prospect. And when you're sitting in the front, if you're expecting people, please, 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 when the meeting starts, don't keep looking back. If you keep looking back, the whole crowd will go with you. Okay? So these are the very little things, but it makes a world of difference. And you gotta get good at really participating. Okay? And so these are some of the stuff. And you know, the other thing is get good at how to close. After you took the time, you invite your prospect to an event, into any meeting, and then they come. At the end of the meeting, you know what I see some people do? They get up, they go, oh, go, let's go to my house. We go, or let's go eat. We go. And then you take everybody, you start leaving the room. After the meeting, if you get up, guess what the people next to you do? They will get up. After the meeting, what you do is you grab a chair, you form a little circle, and you face them. And please have your application ready. You can download it from the website. You guys, we're independent business owners. That means you got to learn to be independent, but at the same time, plug into the system. So many times, after the meeting, oh, I need an application. Do you have an application? Please, have your own. Can we do that? This is your tool. This is your business. How many have seen people do that? Maybe you yourself are guilty. Okay? So please, we need to have application. Download, make some copy. Because unless you have online internet, and I suggest when you start making some money, really get a Wi-Fi computer that has a internet card. And then you can start enrolling people online. But it's much faster. You have an application. So how to close? After the meeting, don't have a habit of taking them home. What you do is form a circle, face them. Luz, wasn't it great? Which package did you like best? That's right. Now, I do not say, what do you think? If I say, hey, Luz, what do you think? You know what she'll say? Let me think about it. It's kind of interesting. Have you heard that? Oh, give me some time, yeah. Yeah, let me go home and check with my husband, okay? So I usually don't ask them what they think. I only ask them, what do you like best about it? Which program did you like best? Okay? Now, if she said, well, I think, I'm not too sure about which one. And I said, well, I can tell you what, from a professional opinion, what you could do is you can, if you really look at this as a business, the minimum thing you should do is to start with a jumbo program. So you can get some product and you can, share with family. And they go, oh, that sounds interesting. I said, okay, great. Let me show you how to get started. Then I get my application and I said, now, when they send out the check, what name do you want to be put under? Why? Because you want to paint an idea. What name would you like the check to go to? They go, me, mine, okay? Very few will say go to my husband or my spouse, okay? So you go, okay, Mike, your name is great. Now, what address would you like your check to be sent to? The address, right? Okay, great. And then your date of birth. Now, the last part I will ask is social, because people are very sensitive about social. Now, so trust me, don't worry about proceeding. Some people say, oh, what if they say no? I said, listen, if they say no, they will let you know anyways. If you get to the and say, okay, great, let's say you proceed with the information. Okay, what is your social? So the company at the end of the year, if you make more than $600, they'll 1099 you. Okay, they put it right there. And don't worry, afterwards, I can shred it or I can let you take it home. Okay, the application. So great. Now I need your autograph right here. I don't say I need you to sign. Because usually when you say sign, that means read. They can read a whole bunch of stuff, okay? So I would say I need your autograph right there. And then when it comes to payment, I will usually say, now, would you like to put that on your MasterCard or your Visa? I don't say, how would you want to pay for it? No. You do the assumptive close. Are you guys with me so far? Yeah. Would you like to put on your MasterCard or your Visa? Now, a lot of times people say, oh, okay, I'll put it on my Visa, MasterCard. Now, when people say, well, I'm not ready. If by then they're not ready, it is okay. They will tell you anyway. If they're not ready, say, great. Can I help you answer some of your objections? What are some of the things that prevent you from getting ready? What are some of the things that's keeping you back? Then when you ask a closing question, what do? Zip. See, a lot of times when people ask, for example, which program do you like Luz? And then when the prospect's quiet, guess what they start doing? They start yakking. Oh, you know what? You really should go with the basic or the jumbo, blah, 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 blah. When you, remember, after you ask a closing question, whoever speaks the first loses. When you ask a closing question, which package you like more? Now, if a silent game going on, it's okay. Let them think. And I have to go, I wait. A lot of people cannot tolerate silence. I wait and I smile. If they have questions, they'll ask me anyways. So many times, people are so afraid to close. Why after prospect? Like let's say, for example, and this is me. I'm telling you, 18 years ago, this is me. My sponsor was a tall Chinese guy. And I had 6 people right there. And after the meeting, he was right there, handing all my prospect application. And I go, it's okay, it's okay. I said, I'll take care of them. I'll take them home and I'll take care of them. And he give me, if look can kill, he will kill me. Okay? And he started asking questions. He won't let them go. He started asking questions, filling the app. And I felt so uncomfortable with it. I said, listen. I said, they're not ready. Let them go home. Let them think about it. And so they will let me know. Guess what happened to 6 of them? They thought about it. Never came back. Okay? Because you know why? Human nature. A lot of times, because there's a lot of opposition to MLM. And a lot of misunderstanding about MLM. And the very minute they leave here, when they deal with the real world outside, guess what happened? Their friends and relatives and out of the kindness of their heart, they thought they knew MLM. They thought they knew the industry. They thought they had experience. There's many experts out there. So when they're like, oh, lucky you didn't sign up that day. If you sign up, man, you'll be one of those people that got sucked into the game. They go, oh, thank goodness. Then from then on, whenever you try to call them back, they never pick up the phone no more. Because Why? Other people got to them. Those are called dream stealers. They steal them away. Okay? So I tell you what, some of you might be uncomfortable doing closing. Trust me, if they are not ready, they would have told you, I'm not ready. If they're not ready, great. What are some of the things that I can do to help answer your objections? Or what are some of the things, questions that you have? If I can answer. Now, some people will start throwing questions at you, one after another. And when it gets to a point, you know, there are people that will ask you questions just to ask you questions. So if they start asking you one question, and then second question, by the third question, I say, listen, if I can answer all of your questions tonight to your satisfaction, will you get started with me? If they say no, I'm not ready, I say, you know what, come back when you're ready to make a decision, then I will sit down until whatever it takes, I'll answer all of your questions. Because there's no sense to sit there all day, all night, answering all the questions, because you already prefaced it to them. You said, listen, if I can answer all of your questions to your satisfaction, will you be able to make a decision and get started with me? Sure. And if they say sure, then you take whatever time it takes to answer their question. If they say, no, not really, then I will say to them like this. I said, listen, you know what, that's okay. Whenever you're ready to make a decision, once all your questions are answered, when you're at that stage in your life, then you come to me. See, why? If people respect you more when you respect your own time. Because you sit there and you all that, no use. You know, I remember when I started working with Samson and started working with Robert, you know what those two guys would do? They would travel all over Los Angeles area. They will do training after training after training. And I said, where's the body? I said, where are all these people? Oh, they haven't joined yet. I said, why? You doing free volunteer work? I said, why? You train people before they even get started. You don't get paid for doing that. So, you know, this just when you start respecting your own time, your own business, then other people will respect it, okay? So it's very important to go for close. Now, why is it important to go for close? I'll give the story to you. Once upon a time, there's a very rich Texan. I mean, he lives in Texas, multi-gazillionaire, okay? And he's a little bit bored with life, and he wanted to do some experiments. So he has a big, huge Olympic-sized pool, and he decided to throw a big, huge party. But the night before the party, he decided to throw a lot of alligator and water moccasin in the pool, okay? A bunch of them. So the next day, when the party begins, when the guests start arriving, a lot of people start arriving, so he gathered everybody at the pool, around the pool. And he would say, listen, whoever is daring enough to jump into the pool and able to swim across the pool and come up alive, I will grant him or her anything he or she want in life. Before he even stopped talking that, he heard a loud splash. There was a guy in the pool. And the guy was like on an Olympic record, you know, because why? Because water moccasin and alligators chasing on his tail. So he was swimming across the pool in record time. He came up from the pool, all, you know, shaking all the water, and this multi-billionaire walked up to him, so excited, run up to him, says, sir, can you tell me what is it you want? I will give you anything you want in life. And this guy says, before you give me anything I want in life, I want to find out the name of that dude who pushed me into the pool. So sometimes, somehow in our lifetime, we all need a little nudge. Because 18 years ago, if the person that taught me in the beginning in this industry, he didn't push me, I would have never got started. You know, after I got signed up, that's exactly what I said. Would you like to put in your MasterCard or your Visa? And he was like inching in on me, right? And I'm like, you know, why are you closing on me? And so anyway, long story short, I signed up. The first thing I did is I went home. I still remember that day. I was so gung-ho. I was so excited. Then I told my sister about it. And, you know, because I respect her and I love her. And, you know, out of the kindness of her heart and her mind, and she thought she had touched upon Nam in the past, and she gave me a whole lecture why I should not do network marketing. And she goes, if you're smart, you will pick up that phone and you're going to cancel your application. Now, I'm sure a lot of us have faced that because people love you. See, people say that not because they're devious or anything, no, because out of the kindness of their mind. See, a lot of people go through life judging life by their past experiences and their past failure. And they care about you, so they think that that's not something not for you based on their own judgment. Well, I was very, very tempted to cancel. I actually called the guy and said, you know what, I'm having second thoughts. I'm having cold feet. I said, I don't know, something. I said, I just got laid off at my job, and you know, at that time cost me a couple of $100 to get started. This is not exactly a small amount. And he says, listen, before you cancel, why don't you go to a training? Why don't you attend a training? Then we'll talk. So that's when I began to plug into the system. I attended training. I built my own belief structure. So thank goodness I didn't quit. See, if somebody didn't push me, I would not be where I'm in life. I don't know where I would be. Some of my college friends, I still remember, I call all of my college friends. Some of them went to UCLA with me. Some of them went to UC Irvine with me. I called all of them. And you know what? They were so negative. They said, Kim has lost her mind. This lady is college educated, graduated, very good grades. Why is she doing MLM? Maybe she got laid off and she really lost her mind. And so they were all laughing. They were all, not one joined me. They were all laughing at me. But you know what? I said to myself, look at who's going to get the last laugh. Some of those friends nowadays, they're unemployed. Some of them are still complaining about their job. Some of them are not where they want to go in life. And they've already given up in fighting for what they had once dreamed of. They had given up what they had wanted at one point in their life, that they thought they could be somebody. And they've given up in life. But so thank goodness I didn't quit. So if you really believe, the thing when you come to close, if you truly believe that this is an opportunity of a lifetime, if you truly believe this product can actually save other people, if you really believe the opportunity can touch people's life, you have no problem closing. None. But you got to get out the paperwork. Don't be shy. Just listen. Great, I'm going to show you how to get started. Don't be afraid to ask for the sale, because the worst thing you can get is what? Is a no. But there is a power in asking. Because if you don't ask, you don't what? You don't get. You don't ask, it's an automatic what? No. But if you ask, there might be a chance you get something. Samson and I went to buy this camcorder because we decided to record this thing for the business. We realized that we need to have a system so that we can have people outside of LA can grow the business. So we were at the Sony store in Costa Mesa, in South Coast Plaza. Sony store. Well, they were saying if you buy 2 more items, you get this thing off, 15% off. I said, well, what about the other items? They go, no, only one. I said, no. Can you give me, 15% off everything? Everything? And you know what? Well, let me try. So long story short, I got 15% of everything we bought at the store. The power of asking. You got to be willing to ask. Look, if they say no to you, what do you get? Automatic no. But if you don't ask, you will never know anyway. The other thing, very important, on Mastering Basics, is always be in phase 1. What is phase 1 activity? I want you to go back and think about on your day 1 of joining the business. When you first joined the business, what did you start doing? You started sharing, you started recruiting, right? That's called phase 1 activity. You were excited. Now, I need you to be in phase 1 activity for at least 1 year. Phase 1 meaning what? Excitement, your enthusiasm, your recruiting, your building. A lot of people don't succeed in this industry. You know why? They go from first 2 months, then phase 1. First month in phase 1. Second month, they go into management mode. You know what management mode? They started managing their downlines. That's not your job. They're all independent business owners. They do not report to you. Don't go manage them. The only person you can manage is whom? Yourself. Look, we're all independent business owners. Stop going to management mode. Hey, you need to come to the meeting. Hey, you need to do this. That's called babysitting. When you babysit, what do you make? You make babysitting wages. See, your job is to look for people that are willing to do the same thing and want the same thing. If not, you're going to drag a whole bunch of stuff up the tree. It's very tiring. How many of you have done that in the past? You kept calling the same people. They keep telling you the same thing. Stop those management mode activities. You got to get on phase 1. Phase 1, recruiting. I am still recruiting. And when Samson and I were at the store yesterday, did I recruit the guy? Yeah. Why not? The guy's a double engineer major, okay, graduate from Fullerton. And Samson says, what are you doing at the store? Selling camera. You know what I'm saying? He's looking for an opportunity. But you got to find a way to recruit, to pique their interest. Did I say anything? You asked Samson. Did I say anything about Luminous? No. Did I say anything about JEUNESSE? Did I say anything about Reserve? Nada. I said, listen, you are such a nice guy, give me all this discount, okay? We have something for you. We want to take care of you. You call us. If you're looking for a way out, so he talked about his job, and so we said, you know, if you're looking for a way out, we got something for you. Get the information. Now, so you got to go on phase 1. Phase 1 activity is very important. If you only keep on, the first month you recruited, and you bang on the people that you recruited, make your fortune, golden rules. The people that joined you, this is very golden. The golden rules when you start building a team. The people that are with you today, trust me, some of them will not stay. It is okay. Let it go. Our job is to go out there and identify the people that want the same thing and willing to do the same thing. Not just say, I want to make $20,000 a month, and yet they're not willing to do the work. Okay? So phase 1 activity is very important. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So phase 1 now. The other thing I want to touch upon.
How long do you think is the phase 1 honeymoon period?
Honeymoon period or phase 1? I would say if you really want to succeed, phase 1 at least 1 year.
Okay.
Now, but what I mean phase 1 is this. You always recruit. I'm always recruiting. I'm still recruiting. Okay? But when you have people as a leader, when you recruit it as a good one that they really want it, they're really active, they have strong desire, then you chase them. You work with them. You tap their network. Because this is very important. You are phase 1. Now see, when you first join the business, 100% of your activity is phase 1. Recruiting, recruiting, recruiting. But once you got some people going, guess what? You got to support your team. Now if your team wants it, see, I'll give you an example. Before, 5 years ago, I started a business, the previous company. I called 202 people, 202, 203 people. 185 say no. Okay? 17 said yes.
Did you use your phone book to have the numbers?
Warm contacts. All of my contacts. So that actually is a whole different training. Family. Anybody that you know by first name basis. You got to do some memory jogging. Okay? When you run into people, you start putting them on the list. Okay? So that's a whole different training on a new... We're going to have a different kind of training on recruiting. But anyhow, I'm just going to give you a set of statistics. Start with 202 people. I sponsor 17 people the first 2 months. Then after that, the next year, I have no time to sponsor anybody. You know why? From 17 people, I have one and a half person working. One was Robert. The half was Tina. I call her half because this person that brought her there wasn't really working in the beginning. So she was the other half that's working. And through these 17 people, they all live in California. Guess how many countries we went into? 200 plus countries. From the 17 people leveraging effort, guess how group the big went over? 200,000 distributors. When you have people that are working, they kept me so busy. Meeting after meeting, meeting after meeting. I mean, I was doing meeting and training, meeting and training, meeting and training. I have no time to recruit. See, that's good. When you have a group that keeps you going, that is okay. But when your group is dead, you don't want to babysit. You go recruit some more. Okay? So this is the statistics. Guys, you have to accept it. The golden rules. That your job is to go out and sort and look for the right kind of people. And the way we sort, it's a sorting game, guys. And we're gonna call people, and I'm gonna give you a quick example of sorting. Okay, we call people, we sort people. Just for the sake of it, for simple to understand, we call people apples. Okay, and there's 3 types of apples. There's red apple, green apple, and rotten apples. Okay, 3 types of apples. Now, our goal, our job is to look for red apples. Red apples, red, delicious, juicy. They're the one that's fun and say yes to your business. Okay? The red apple is like people that are willing to do the work. They're excited. These are kind of what you're looking for. The green apples, the one that they're not ripe yet. They have a lot of questions. Question after question after question after question. And they will find different forms of questions to ask you. in the same context, okay? So the green apple, people have questions. Now the rotten apples are the ones you want to stay away from. The rotten apples are what we call dream stealers. Not only will they say no to you, they'll be nasty about it, okay? So let's say that you're at a supermarket and there's a whole pile of apples, okay? Your job is to look at the apple and put in your basket and you to pick up red apples. Now this is what happens when in reality when we go recruit, when we go build. When you pick up a red apple, red juicy apple, what you do? You put it in your basket. Then when some of you reach out and find a green apple, you know what some of you will do? You will talk so much. Hey, green apple, wake up, turn into red. It won't. When you put a green apple, you can say when you have time, you can spend 20% of your time with the green apple, but 80% of your time with the red apple. Because sometimes green apple can turn into red apple later. Why don't you answer all the questions?
Miracle.
Now, when you reach in the pile and you reach and you got a mushy, gushy stuff and you pick it up, it's a rotten apple. What do? Are you going to say, rotten apple, please, please, be well? It won't. It's a rotten apple. What you do? Throw it away. But too many times people get so attached to the rotten apple that you try to save it and you try to save it, and before you know it, that rotten apple got to you. And you got rotten with it. The stuff that they say, it began to make sense to you. And before you know it, you go down along with it. But our job, this is how you not get emotional attached to it. Your job is to look for red apples. People that want red apples, people are excited, people have enthusiasm, people have the right attitude. People want to do something with life, because there's so many people out there, they want nothing out of life. They are happy with whatever, that's fine. But you want to look for people that want to go somewhere in life. So you're out there looking for red apples. Okay? So what did I do? I sort. Do you know how many rotten apples of 185 people? A lot. Like 150 were rotten ones, real rotten. Some are really bad. So what did I do? I tossed them so fast. I don't even recall what they said. At the time it was so bad, I said, adios, bye, go next one. But a lot of people, they don't understand the power in the numbers. It's not what these 17 people did, but it's whom they led me to. It's not what some of them did. I brought one of the person that brought me to Tina. It's not what he did, but he led me to Tina. He's a great guy. He made a ton of money in that company. But he led me to Tina, led me to a whole bunch of people in China. And so it's not what they do, it's who they lead you to. So that's why when you work your business, you got to pick the ones that are good, you chase them. When the momentum's hot, what you do, when you strike an iron, the iron's hot, guess what you do? You strike it. A lot of people, when your business is up, they take a vacation, they go spend their money. Don't do that. When the iron's hot, you strike it. You go, you know what? I have a business friend, and he said the best. He goes, you know what? Life is like a spring wheel. Some are good, some are bad. He goes, when it's good, I'm going to get a big nail, I'm going to nail it in there so it won't go back. Just when it's good, you got to really give it all you got, because this is your chance. One time I asked my friend, I said, hey, you know what? I said, what would you do if you're making $30,000 a month? And back then, $30,000 a month is a lot of money. He goes, oh, I'll take a vacation, I'll take this and that. I said, listen, that means your momentum's up. You need to really, really ride it. Because in business, you don't know when to go down. You don't know. You only take the best of it and run with it. Okay? Overcoming obstacles. Along the way, as you're talking to people, will we have challenges? 100% guarantee. Will there be difficult times? 1,000%. The difference is, what do you do when you're down? Most people will stay down with it. You know what? Most people say, when the group was thriving, or when they once had that big glory, they kept living on the past glory. Get over it. People say, well, what would people say about me? My team died. Get over it. This is now. We're dealing with now. I can't do anything about the past. I can't do anything about the future. But I can deal with what we got now. If you can't drop your ego about your past success, you know what? The past success may be a one-time luck. That past success may be a one-time gig. But if you are as good as you think you are, you're going to stand up and you do it one more time. See, people say, I believe, I want it. You know what? Most of you have not crossed the edge. You're going to gone beyond that edge if you want it. If you, look, how many of you can really feel, how many of you feel good to get a 40,000 check? What would you do? I tell you, many years ago, when I got involved in industry, they told me the average income for that company of an RVP was 30 grand a month. And I remember in my thoughts, in my head, I said, you know what? 30 grand a month. I said, forget about getting a month, every month. If they give me one check, one time for 30 grand, that will help me solve a lot of problems. How many relate to that? Yes. Yeah. It is a huge, you know, these things now become a number to me. Don't get me wrong, it's a huge blessing. This is a huge blessing. What kind of business gives you that kind of return? But see, everybody want it. But are they willing to do what it takes? See, this is something that it's a very fine line. We have to really tweak it. You have to really, really, really get it. I want it. I want to change my life. I want it. I want it. But when the very first sign of challenge, you get knocked down, you stay down, and that is it. Then what happened to your dream that you once wanted? What happened to that thought that you once had it? Listen, money, people, things, material, people can take away from you. But you know, one thing they can't take away from you is right between your two ears. If you're strong, you know what you want out of life, don't let anyone talk you out of it. Don't let nothing. You just got to get to that point of no return. When you get to that point, you have crossed a boundary, you have crossed a line, you said, this is it, this is what I want. And I want to say this, and I don't want to come off the wrong way. I have a very, very, very loving family. I have 3 sisters. And all 3 of them were opposing me to the max. The word opposing is an understatement. They opposed me of doing MLM for many, 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 many years. To a point where they will call me every day to tell me to quit. Every day. If my older sister were here, and one of these days at the event she would tell you, you know what, my sister, that poor kid, I only wish she would quit. Because she would call me every day to tell me to quit from Hong Kong. Every day. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I know it was her. And until it gets to point now, she's a wonderful, loving person. But she did that based on, she thought she was caring for me. She thought she wanted the best for me. Because her experience with MLM wasn't that good. But she thought she had experience when all she did was had maybe like 1 meeting of a water filtration company. She didn't even join. Okay, so it was maybe that 1 incident. So she based her whole perception about MLM and every day trying to talk me out of the game. It wasn't until the day I told her, listen, if you do not have anything good to say about my business, about my dream, about my goals, my journey that I chose, please don't call me anymore. You can call me about anything else, but don't say anything about what I do. See, I had drawn the line. Until you draw the line, then you become successful. You have to get good at it. See, many people in their mouth, they say, I believe in JEUNESSE. I believe the product. I believe in JEUNESSE. I believe I can make money. And yet they're not making the money. You know why? What you say, what you think, and what you do are 2 different things. When you say you want it, you want to be successful, you want to retire your job, you want to retire your husband, you want to walk away from your job, if you really want it bad enough, you know what? You're going to put massive action behind what you say. Then things will happen. You got to get over your own fear. Because you know what? What stops most people is our own fear. We worry about this. We worry about what people say. We worry about that. There's too many things to worry about. You ask me, you know, some of you, if you hang around me with my sisters, I'm the most quiet one in my whole family. Some of them, out of their kindness, they think they're very fashionable. They will laugh at me what I wear. This don't match, the color don't match. Do I give a dime? No. I said, this is me. I think it looks great on me. And I move on. But some people go, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I need to change this. I change it. You got to be you. And you got to face your own fear. Don't worry about what other people say. Listen, will other people say this is a scam? Will other people say product don't work? I can guarantee you 1,000%. You got to be firm in what you want and face your own fear. Look, if you have no more warm market, talk to cold market. But you're not going to recruit the cold market right away. You strike a conversation, find out what they need, and you go from
you know, like you like playing baseball from first base, second base, you go from base to base. Learn about them, and you know what? Eventually, you're gonna start building. You gotta get good at bringing people. You gotta get good at talking to people. If you talk to nobody, there's no way you can build a business. You must, by always attend a meeting is not gonna help you. You need to attend a meeting with somebody. But in your learning process, while you're attending a meeting, you can learn. You can grow from it. You get good at it. But you gotta get good at also inviting people. Okay. Now another thing very important. So overcoming obstacle. We all have it. The biggest obstacle that we have to overcome is, you know what it is?
Yourself.
Ourselves. Everything started from here. The biggest thing is right between here. And also the biggest challenge is right between here. It's what you do with it. See, when your business is up, it's easy to have great attitude. It's excited, you're excited. But when your business is down, it's what you do with it that will make you or break you. You know, one of the things I really, really admire about Samson, Tina, and Winnie, their persistence is unbeatable. Rain or shine, you'll find them out there. Doesn't matter if people say no to them, doesn't matter if people quit, guess what? You know, I'll give you a perfect example. I was having breakfast with my dad, I think yesterday or the day before, whatever. I was sharing with my dad, I said how happy I was with my dad. My dad said, wow, Tina's good. I said, Dad, most people only see the fruit. They don't see the challenges that she went through. There are many times you go to any meeting, people saw Tina, they went the other way. Tina, don't come to the meeting. Don't go to our meeting. Don't. I mean, there are people, but did she care? She act as, I mean, no, she doesn't act. She does as if she don't hear what people say. She still goes on. You don't want to hear about it, it's okay. I still talk anyway. It's a free country. See, you got to get to a point where you do not care what people say about you. You got to get, I mean, you got to get, some people are afraid to ask for discount. Some people are afraid to ask for this because what? Oh, I'm thin-skinned. That has nothing to do with your skin. Thick or thin is the same thing. See, it's our internal, see, a lot of people, we tend to internalize what people are saying to us. I mean, it's a perfect example. We had a family gathering yesterday. If going back in my younger days, I probably would have internalized a lot of things. There's some of my siblings say about this and say about that. I could have chose to and internalize what they say about whatever. But I don't. I have become wiser. I cross a line. See, most people, when anybody, your prospect, say anything about you, we tend to take that stuff and we put it in our brain and we made it bigger than life. And our action act towards it as if it's bigger than life. And I hope it's not too complicated for you guys to understand. Is this coming across so far? So obstacles, we all have them now. There are indeed some challenges. If there's some issues, we will sit down, we'll deal with the issue, we'll find solution. But if other stuff, I suggest you get over it. And you got to be one thing, got to be very good on one of the basics is be persistent. Okay? You have to be persistent. And be coachable. I remember Winnie had a leading on in the business a couple of months ago. When the business dipped, I told Winnie, I said, Winnie, you know what you need to do? Go brand new. Go get some new blood. And you know now, obviously, some people will say, well, where am I going to get my new blood? I've been doing this for a year. I exhausted my warm market. You know what Winnie said? Okay. And you know what she did? She went and found a whole bunch of new blood. It's what you put in here, guys. See, most of us walk around every day, so you got to be coachable. And in the success, I can see all the successful people, they're extremely coachable. Some of you are thinking, how in the world am I going to find new people? There is magic when you believe in something. And I'll give you several examples. One of my hobbies on Sundays is to walk. You know, I love to, you know, I used to live in North San Gabriel, which is very close to San Marino. And some of you know San Marino is very, you know, leafy, very well-established community, and I love San Marino. And so I would get myself on Sunday, I mean, a lot of people going dating and all that stuff. I was single, so you know what I do on Sundays? I would leave the house at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll get lost until 5, 6 o'clock. And I'll be walking around with walk back then, we don't have any iPod or anything like that, we had the Walkman back then, okay? So I'll be with my Walkman jogging around all over San Marino. And I know all the houses.
Beautiful houses there.
And I still remember my mom and dad would say to me, you know what, why don't you just stop dreaming? Why don't you put your feet firmly grounded on the floor and be real? Why you have to be like, look, we have a decent house in San Gabriel, but why are you so crazy? You don't even make enough money to support yourself. Why don't you wake up? But I refuse. I said, Mom, you know, I see those people pulling out from the driveways. I said, they don't look any smarter than me. They don't look any better than me. So I said, I am going to get there one of these days. And she just thought I was nuts. But I kept believing. You know what? And I told myself, those were down times. And when I was down, you know what I did? I kept telling myself, I don't know how, but I know I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. I don't know how. If you ask me at that time, I don't even have enough money to go on vacation, let alone be a multi-millionaire. Are you with me so far? So I had to plan it so firmly in my head. I said, one of these days, I'm going to make it. But along the way, I'm not going to quit. I'm very conscious of what's happening around me. And you know what? I did it. Sometimes you don't know how. I still remember, I told myself, I said, I'm going to build a massive organization. I see these people build big teams before. I said, I too am going to do that. I said, someday I'm going to be on stage speaking to tens and thousands of people. When I haven't even spoken in front of 100 people. But I have put that in my head. But you know what? I did it. I had the pleasure of traveling to all these countries. Why? Because I believe in it. I didn't care. You need to really put that, but when you believe in something, a lot of people say, well, I can't find them. How am I going to find them? You know what? I pretty much exhausted all my war market. But I still managed to build the biggest Hispanic team in that company. My first MLM company, I built the biggest Hispanic team, and I built the biggest team in Hawaii. I don't know a soul in Hawaii. I don't know anybody that are Hispanic. I just had that belief that I'm going to do it. So you know how I got the biggest Hispanic group? From a courtesy driver at Russ Neck, Pasadena. He was a shy courtesy driver. He led me to one of the pastors at his church. From the pastor, led me to one of this guy. Then we chased a big, huge group. And so when you have that belief, something magical happens that will lead you there. Like Winnie, Robert, and I, in the previous company, we went to Korea. And some of you heard the story, and I will tell the story again. We went to Korea for my very first time to Korea. And I went there for a bit, and Robert and Winnie were with me to traveling to Asia, and so one of the stops was Korea. And so I told myself, man, you know, I went there to recruit a big fish. At least that's what I was told. So I thought to myself, man, it's a pretty expensive trip, not in terms of money, but time-wise, away from my family to go all the way for one big fish. So I told them, I said, you know what? I am going to, no matter what, I'm going to find another big fish. They said, do you speak Korean? No. Do you know anybody in Korea? No. But I said, I'm going to find a big fish, another big one. I said, I just know, because it's too costly for me to go. I said, I'm going to find another big fish. I just want to go for one. So I put that in my head. Logically, people will ask, how? What do you think? How are you going to do that? People will challenge you. But I just kept it to myself. I said, I will, somehow, somewhat, some way. I just put that thought out there. And you know what? I did find a huge fish, bigger than the one that I went to Korea for. You know how I found that person? It was a person sitting next to me on the airplane. And she spoke English and Korean. She's going back home for a visit. So the point to you is, how would I have known I would meet her on the plane? I didn't know. I had set that goal in my mind that I'm going to do it. So you guys need to really, if you wanted something, you set it in your head. Don't look at, a lot of people are afraid to set goals. A lot of people are afraid to make decisions. They all just look at what they have right now. Oh, how am I going to do that? I'm broke. How am I going to, all these reasons. Don't. Set a goal and be willing to do it and shoot for it. If you have momentum in one team, you're going to be like, if you are a leader, you're going to be like a hawk to chase that team and explode that team. Don't just sit and wait for people to do it for you. You are a leader, you need to step up as a leader. If you are a leader, don't be a follower. You step up and say, listen, what can I do for you? Some of you are very lucky that you sponsor a good leader. But you know what? Be a good sponsor. Be a nurturing sponsor. Don't just expect someone always to do it for you. See, when your team member, they see that your love, your care, your sacrifices, guess what? That love reciprocates. So is this coming across to you guys? Is it helping you guys so far? Yes. Okay, very good. So overcoming obstacles. And the other thing is you have to be very good at, this is very, very key, guys, to succeed. You need to be super consistent. Some of you get so pumped up every time after training. You get so pumped up, you're excited for about 2-3 days. Then you disappear for a while. You do a little bit work, and then, because of challenges, guess what? You disappear for a while. Then another training, 2 months later, you come back and pump up again. Don't. You need to be consistent. If just like a well. A well, right? Where's the water? The water's in the bottom, okay? Here's a pump. If you're going to pump water, in the beginning, you might not see any water coming out, probably a lot of air coming out, okay? No water yet. But don't worry, the water's slowly being sucked up. You pump and you pump, guess what? Somebody say, there's no water. And you let go of the lever, guess what happens to the water that's sucking up? Pump it down. If you keep doing that, no water, you leave. No water, you leave. Can't get nowhere. Can't succeed. You got to be consistent. You got to, you know what? I only wish there's a magic capsule that people take it and they be consistent. I only wish. There is, if anybody that would exemplify the epitome of consistency, it's human nature. But there's with one person that's the epitome of consistency. You know who that is? At least so far in this team, that is Samson. Samson is Mr. Consistency. People, no people, doesn't matter. 1 person, 3 people, 5 people, there he is. Always there for his team. Rain or shine. I call him Mr. Patience. I said, wow, you have so much patience. He will work and work and work and talk and talk. I only sometimes wish to say, you know what, Samson, you got to use your time wisely. But consistency pays off. His love, his caring, and what a perfect example. Mr. Lino, right here. Okay? He is extremely persistent with Lino. But Lino got to step it up. You got to be consistent. And if you don't quit, you'll be big. Now I see Lino cycle a few times a day now, at least, right? Because you know why? He kept digging, he kept digging, he kept digging his team. He finally hit it. Question is, are you willing to dig? Are you willing, give yourself this program, give yourself a good 1 year. Give yourself a good 1 year to chase it, but do it the proper way. Do it the right way. Okay? So you need to have consistent effort and be persistent. You got to be persistent at what? At your dreams. Don't get all excited, hyped up. The next thing you know, dip down. You need to stay at even kill. When people say no to you, you know what you need to be excited about? People say, well, all my team is dead. What should I be excited about? You know what I said? You should be excited about you found a vehicle for you to turn your life around. You're excited about your opportunity. When people say no to you, your dreams got to be bigger and better than your team. Most people put their dream, their dream, their team, same or below what their team say about them. You got to rise above that. You have to rise above that. So, can you all stick with the game and be consistent to your game? See, only you can say the answer. I don't know. Yes. Can you guys do that? Yes. Will you do that? Yes. See, will you be loyal and be faithful to your own dream and your own vision? Because you need that. You need your vision, you need your dream to keep you going. Because just like anything in life, there's that roller coaster, the ups and downs. But you must have the courage to face those fears. You have those courage. When you're down the valley, don't park there. Get out of there as soon as possible. And take massive action. If your group don't move, they don't plug in, drop them. Don't let them drag you down. You go find some new ones. There are a bunch of new ones. A bunch of them. Question is, are you willing to go through the numbers to find them? But you got to be willing to open your mouth and talk to people and talk to people and talk to people. Okay? So, first, how much money you want to make? This is what, we are in September. We're in September, right? September 12. Okay, we still have, okay, by the end of this month, how much money would you like to make? You need to set that goal yourself.
1 million.
Now, we're going to be realistic, okay? 1 million, is it doable? That's not doable, not possible, okay? So, but you got to set goals that are within reach. I mean, these are called baby steps to get there, okay? So, November and December. Now, these goals, that's the money you set to make, right? The other part's very important. These are goals. These are actions. What kind of action are you willing to give? What kind of action are you willing to take to make it happen? I want to make 10,000 by the end of September. What are you willing to do? I don't know. You got to be willing to take some actions. You know, what would, besides having that belief, you know what would get people to take the action? I see so many people, they are trapped in their own shell. They are completely trapped in their own thoughts, in their own shell, in their own fear. You really have to get good at opening up those shells and jump out. Because if you don't jump out, it's hard for you to succeed. I mean, it's fine for you to make, you know, 5,000 a month, that's a small amount of money. That's fine to do that. 10,000 a month is okay. But if you really want a big money, you really got to jump out. You know the Superman, Superwoman, the movie back in the old days, right? You know, Superwoman or Superman, when he puts on a suit, he's a whole different guy. Otherwise, what's his name, Clark or Clark? What's his name? Clark? Clark is a nerd, right? But when he puts on a Superman, he's like totally different person. You guys need to put on that suit of that hero of who you think you are, who you believe you are. See, most people wear their own suits of they themselves label their own selves as who they are. But you know what? I believe there's a higher consciousness in you to put on that suit. You've got to jump out of your own shell. I always, when I start working with Samson, I say, Samson, get out of your shell. You still cover all your shell. Most people, we all have it. We all have these egos among ourselves. We all have their own thoughts about who we are and all this stuff. Our pride, our ego, our thoughts, all this stuff. Our own fear. When people say anything, we have things to judge back and to answer back. No need. Let go, drop all those ego. And say, listen, today I'm a brand new person. I'm going to jump out of myself. And I'm going to do something with myself. I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be someone. I'm going to be successful. Whatever that success meant to you. And you got to be willing to take massive action. Because I have seen time and time again over the years, in different nationality, different races, different country, it's all the same. It doesn't matter, Chinese, Filipino, Asian, American, it doesn't matter. I looked out, I mean, too many times, most people have so much potential in them, but it's all buried, all covered in layers and layers, years and years of whatever, conditioning from family, from tradition, from yourself, all this layer and layer. It's got to peel it, different layers of onion, peel it out, peel it out, peel it out, peel it out. It took me 18 years to peel out all those layers to become who I am today. That's why network marketing is the best self-mastery course. But the most important, I mean, the fun part of it is, it's got a compensation plan attached to it. And along the way of self-mastery, self-becoming discovery, you get to help other people. My son said to me a couple of days ago, Mama, you have a lot of money. I want you to spend more time with me. You don't need to work this hard. I mean, you know, it's a big sacrifice for me. I mean, Winnie knows and Tina knows when I travel, I call home, he doesn't want to talk to me. He says, if you love me, you'll be home with me now. And so it is hard on me. But I mean, yes, it's true, I could choose to stay home, but I really feel like I have this sense of responsibility. This, you know, I mean, this company is the owner's baby, it's my baby, it's your baby, it's all of our baby. We want to make this thing work. But the most important work that we all can do is help other people to break through within themselves. Because that's the biggest thing. Once you're able to break through all those layers and layers of whatever we trap ourselves into, you know what, the world is within reach. You know, a lot of people say, Kim, you know, it seems like everything you touch turns to gold. Once you begin to align and remove all those layers and layers of stuff that we all build up over the years, when you're aligned with the universe, you reach out, the world is yours. It doesn't mean that there's no obstacle. It doesn't mean there's no challenges. But it's what you do with the challenges. It's what you do, how you handle them, what you do with it. Like I said, it is so easy to be pumped, to be excited, to be enthusiasm. When your check is up, your group is up, and everything's up. But when your check is down, when your team is down, your spirit's low, is anybody say anything to you? Anything, any remotely negative stuff, it could be that straw that will break the camel's back. But the most important of all that we all can do, the message I want to get across today, all the training, all the techniques, all that stuff, nothing is going to do any good until you know what you want. And until you have the belief that you will get through it. And until you jump out of that shell. You have to jump out of your shell. If you want to take charge, you know what? If you got it no, behind Cece. Sorry. Yeah, Jenny, sorry. Jenny has a big team going in Canada. If I were her, a team is moving, that's her pay leg, you know what I would do? I would get my bag, pack my clothes, go there. Take steps, take charges, get out of your shell. Jenny, you know what? She was a great leader at one point. She was all over magazines. But because of whatever happened, I'm sorry to pick on you, Jenny, that's why I had a hard time picking your name because I want to pick on you. But you know what? A lot of people, because of certain things that happen, we bury ourselves with different layers of stuff. If I were her, that's giving her cycles every day. Many cycles every day. I'm going to get my suitcase, pack my clothes. Here I go, Canada. You know what? I'm going to pump it bigger. You need to step up to the leader that you once were. Because I know you have it. Same thing with Jing and Ellen. Their team alone in 1 month in the U.S. did close to $200,000 a month. Just in the U.S. Guess what? Because certain thing happened, because of challenges, the group didn't plug in, whatever reason, it collapsed. Now this act, we either make them or break them. They're still here. See, it was easy for Jing and Alan to be pumped, to be excited. Because your adrenaline's running. When your team is all on the rise, you are the talk of town, it's good to be up. But the key is, what would you do when your team is down? Now, human being naturally will say, what would my peers say about me? Before, my whole team is my whole meeting is my team. Now, nobody's my team. What would my peers say about me? It doesn't matter. Because we are here with you. We will cheer you on like you never believe. If you have the courage to come here, to face it again, Jing, you'll build even bigger than before. Same thing with Robert. Robert was $1 million earner. He made $1 million in 2 years. If Robert has what I think he has, he'll be an even bigger team. But the difference is in what Robert's attitude would be, on how he looks at it. He can take a sour look, or he can take it in a positive light and change his life forever again. We all have that. The reason I point these people out, because they are very close to my heart. Some of you are very new, I can see that. Some of you have been here for a while. But you really, really, in life, you know, I hope JEUNESSE is your vehicle. But in life, we really need to learn to find purpose in what we do, and have passion in what we do, and be enthusiastic about what we do. People love, I present. I don't know all the stuff about product, about everything, but they love it because I have a passion and people can feel it. If I have to stand here to get people $1,000, get a 1-year jumbo, it is not worth my time. They buy a 1-year jumbo that disappeared. I think that's above and beyond. I mean, there is so much work that we could do with the humankind. Above and beyond health. There's a lot of things that we can help people to really break out their shell. So the message today really is that we all need to jump out of our shell. It may not be right now immediately, but we need to, when you are in a stage, in a mindset where you're down, or you thought about whatever you thought, you just say, take a deep breath and say, listen, what do I want out of life? I'm going to break through. I am not going to label myself one way or the other. I'm not going to think anything but I'm going to jump over myself and I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to pursue my dream with every passion you got. Can you do that? Yes. Will you pursue your dream with everything you got? Yes. Along the way, you might make some small sacrifices. But to me, I told my son, you know what? It's not all about money for mama, because I'm doing a lot of work that's far beyond money. And so I do hope that you get something here this afternoon, because it is the most important thing you could do with your life. Is right between your 2 ears. You're all healthy. I see everybody walking here today. But really, this is your chance. This is your vehicle to do something. And it doesn't matter what it is. Some of you in the beginning, maybe making a few hundred a month, a few thousand a month. Maybe some of you have an aspiration of making a lot of money, making millions. We have it right here. It all depends on what you think and